Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Look, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. Let me get both of us on screen here. Sorry about that. We're about 4 minutes late. We do apologize. I'm Adam Wilbur.
Justin Miller.
Justin Miller. Thank you guys for joining us. We were over on the wrong channel. Long story short, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. We are good to go now. So if you're on here, if you're watching, there's going to be about a 30 to 60-second delay. All you've got to do is the best thing for you, if you want to help us and to make this as enjoyable as possible, is to comment and engage. So if there's a question, we're going to split the lecture into two. Justin will do the first half, I'll do the second. And as either one of us are performing, the other will be fielding questions. And it really helps us to know there's people there watching and that you guys are engaged and either enjoying the material or at least paying attention to it. So we do these live for a reason. The reason we didn't just record one and send it off to everybody was that we wanted that sort of live feel. So if you're here, we see a couple people on here already. Tim's saying thanks for everyone coming here. So we'll go ahead and drop that right in there. Thank you for the comment.
Thank you, Tim. Tim, you're the guy that I could talk to. He's the organizer for this whole thing. Thank you so much, Tim. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Appreciate you putting it all together.
Yeah, man.
We've got Wendy on here saying,
hi, Wendy.
Hey, Tim, thanks for inviting the Mile High Magicians. This is going to be great. Awesome.
Very cool.
I will say real quick, I'm a diehard Broncos fan, so much love to you guys from the start. My dad lives in Fort Collins. So we've got, Sean. Good to see you, Sean.
Is that Sean Pop?
Sean Preston Magic, right there.
I think that's Sean. Yes. Hey, what's up, Sean? How are you?
It is. Good to see you, brother.
Very cool.
Where are you guys? So that's Eddie, Colorado Springs. Okay, cool. Very cool. So it looks like we're on here again. Sorry that we were a few minutes late. I went to the wrong, whatever. It is what it is. We're here.
Were you in Mexico for tomorrow? Is that where you were?
No, I just went live on my YouTube channel.
Just in general. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. So again, the more you guys engage, the better off. Justin's going to take the first half of the lecture. I'll follow up suit with the second half. Ask questions, comment, hit the likes and all that stuff. Just let us know that you're here. And we appreciate you guys taking some time and spending the evening with us. Without further ado, Justin will start first. So we'll give him a little bit of one of these and just let him take it away.
Thank you guys so very much. So this is a very serendipitous moment for me because a little over 20 years ago, I was hired to come and do your Rocky Mountain Magic Jam, I believe it's called, something like that. Some of those words put together. One of those conventions. And unfortunately, because I was in a very toxic relationship, I was not able to get there. It was a mess. And I felt so bad about it. This is now a very serendipitous moment because I get to come to you guys for the first time and say hi. Thank you so much for inviting us in. You could be doing anything right now, really, and you want to spend time with us. That's really cool. So it's kind of a really fun thing for me, too, to just be able to get back and reverse everything. So I'm very happy to finally be here in front of you guys. So let's start off with something interesting. I'm going to be using, we'll just use a camera one, right now?
So, yeah, we'll be on camera one. We can go to camera two if you need it. It is there and pop.
Yeah, I'll let you know. We switched up the lecture a little bit, that's all.
Great. And then real quick, just to answer one question that did come in, they're asking what cities. I'm currently in New Durham, New Hampshire. Where are you at, Justin?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Awesome. Cool.
Our state just opened today for the first time. So
yeah, I think a lot of the world is getting there, but
yeah.
Cool. Great. So you're on camera one. If you want me to switch to camera two, you just let me know. I'll let you take it away from here.
Sounds good. Perfect. So we'll start with something with just two hands. Besides the two hands, a little square, a little circle. Oh, a little bag, actually. This is kind of fun. This is kind of neat. Little bag with some coins in it. Oh, kind of neat. It's an egg bag for midgets. I think that's what they would call that. 3 coins, actually. These are Italian coins. These are really neat little coins, actually. Besides that, like I said, we will use the bag. So we'll get those over there. And we'll use the bag. We'll use the bag in a second. Don't need to use the bag right now. I want to do this as slow as I can with one hand so everybody can see. Fair enough? Listen closely. You can hear those coins, right? It's not an illusion. It's not an image. You can actually hear those coins. The first coin, you can actually, there it is right there. See, it just vanishes like that. Just goes. It doesn't go very far. It actually goes right underneath that little black bag. Now, I know that wasn't really fair because you didn't really know what to look for. A lot of people think this has to do with because maybe they're far across from each other. I'm kind of able to sneak that coin under there somehow. So I tell you what we'll do. I'm going to push this coin under there very deliberately and very fair. And these two over here, actually, you know what? We'll just use one. Again, at the fingertips. That second coin just goes. And if you were here, you could lift this up to show those two coins. One coin left to go. This is the last coin. So pay very close attention. I also think the problem is that I unfortunately keep hiding the coins, yeah? So I could be doing anything under there. So I tell you what I do, just for you guys, just for Colorado. I'm going to put one coin out in the open so you can see it. And we'll put one coin over there, right underneath. Okay. This is the last coin. Watch the last coin. You'll see it go. Actually, you'll hear it go. Listen, listen, listen. This is my favorite part. Listen. Wait. Oh, well, that backfired, actually. They went right back over there. Oof, I know. I didn't see it myself. A little mystery with 3 coins in a bag. Kind of interesting. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's get rid of these if you don't mind. Here. And if you were here, you could hear that. You could feel that really is a coin there. And of course, we'll use these two here. So one inside, one underneath. One underneath there. So one in the front, one in the back, one inside. This time you will be able to listen to it. Listen closely. But like I said, that's a little mystery with 3 coins, a little bag, and 2 hands. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is a fun little effect, and I keep adding to it, keep changing it all the time. It's just one of those things, like almost like with cylinder and coins. I just have fun seeing what I can do with this. So what this is, it's a black bag. We'll go to camera 2. It's a black bag. It's a jeweler's bag, but this jeweler's bag has a. I've taken the stitching out. Let me move this over here. I can't move that over there. There we go. Take the stitching out, and so if you take the stitching out on one side, you can have this opening, right? Nice little opening. And I put a piece of double stick tape right here and sharpied it on the edges so you can't see that shimmer. That way it fits these coins. This is a custom made situation. So if I wanted silver dollars, I just move that piece of tape a little bit up, and now I have a silver dollar size, which is really, really nice. And you can do some really cool things with this little gimmick, this little bag. The first production I'll show you, I kind of came up with it right before we started. I was thinking about a way to produce this. I just folded these up and turned this over. And of course, I had it right here. And so as I come forward, I can show my hands empty. As I come back, my fingers are going to naturally hit that, right? And as it hits, I just pick them up and then start making a circle like this. And then as I go to the back, I drop this bag as I bring the circle back around, and it looks like a bag just appears out of nowhere, right? It's a neat little moment where you show hands empty here, pause here, and then boom, there's this bag.
That looks great, Justin.
Oh, do you like it?
Yeah, that looks great.
Thanks, man. Thank you. It's really funny when I literally was doing this in the beginning, guys. I almost like took the coins out like that because of the whole. I don't know why I did that.
I gotta make one comment that's just cracking me up. So I'm gonna drop a few comments here on the screen. So the emoji for clapping looks very much like the wash hands emoji. So every time people clap, we get this wash hands, wash hands.
Is that right?
It's amazing. I didn't know what was going on at first. I was like, do they think we're dirty or something? But I get
That's hilarious. Wash your hands, motherfucker. You know.
So those are claps. A lot of people clapping it. Awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hygienically approved. Very cool. So what this is, it's this little bag, and this will be coming out later on in the year. Adam and I got some things with this. Really cool stuff. and 3 coins with an expanded shell. Expanded shell is exactly what it sounds like. It's an expanded coin that's boom, and then you can fit that over another regular size coin. And so they match, obviously, right? So I get 3 coins and then 1 matching expanded shell. Okay. Expanded shell and the coin go onto the bottom, and then the 2 coins on top. I'm now going, I almost put those back in the same way. What is wrong with me? This goes in, close this up, and then I place this here for the production, right? Or you can just bring this out, making sure not to hold it like this, because then you get this situation, they're going to fall out. So either way you want to do it, produce it or just come out. I think you should produce it. I really do. And I don't care if you have a black background. I mean, this is a great little moment right here. Your hands are completely empty. You come backwards, you come this way, and then all of a sudden a freaking bag appears. Like, what the hell is happening, right? Open this up, nice and neat. I just slide these out. That shell and that coin is going to stay together. Don't worry about it. They're not going to talk. And I think it's more important to show the cleanliness right now of these coins, because one is suspect, obviously, by doing this. You know what I mean? So and this is how I realized you could do things like this. I would see people take out coins and they'd like place them down like this. Like, oh, why are you placing them down like that? That looks weird. It looks like there's something wrong with them. But if I open up this bag and just dump them out, I don't care. You know what I mean? They're going to fall. It's a beautiful thing. I then talk about the bag. Remember, the coin and the shell is on the bottom, the nested coin and shell. I'm going to come forward this way, so it's going diagonal to the left, and I'm going to leave behind the coin underneath the shell as I lift up just a little bit, and I place the coins over there. I'm now sliding that coin over. Now the bag is going to be in this position, so as I slide over here to get out of the way, because if I wasn't out of the way, this would be bad theater to cross in this direction. I'm covering my spot for acting, if you will, for people who are my actors, my characters in the play. So I move this hand out of the way first, talk about the bag. Then I put the bag over the coin. So you can have, you can slide the bag this way over the coin like this, making sure to cover with your fingers and your hand, right? So they don't see that. And this can all be done while you're just pulling those back if you like, all right? And that's usually the best way. Honestly, that's the way I do it. And then now I'm going to pick these up very slowly, making sure the shell is on top, and I close everything up. Now, if I learned this a long time ago, but if you take a coin and a shell and another coin and you shake them together, making sure that the shell is against the fingertips, so the shell and the coin are against the fingertips, if you shake those coins, those sound like real coins. You don't get that tinny sound. You don't get this sound. Hear that tinny sound? You don't want that. You want this. Different sound. So now I'm shaking. I push off one, but it's the coin and the shell at the same time. I then shake again. Now this is something I came up with again a long time ago. I'm using my ring to mess with your heads, right? So I can shake that coin against my one coin. I can shake it against the ring, and it sounds like 2 coins. How cool is that? And then I drop it. Now, this is important. This is a big lesson in theater and also in sound, how sound and objects work in our minds. If I were to do this and I immediately turn my hand towards you like this, right? Like I'm extending my fist to you. The moment you see this ring, your brain goes, that's how it's done. I don't know what was done, but that's the done thing. Or if you vanish it, they go back to think, oh, that's how you made that sound. They're not stupid. Audiences are not stupid. Stop treating them like they're stupid. They're pretty smart a lot of times. People are stupid, but audiences in general have like a mob mentality sometimes, you know what I mean? And they will come together and fight you intellectually if you're not careful. But you don't know that's happening. That's a war that's going on in their minds while you're performing. You don't know that. So it's important to know the questions that they're asking themselves, so you already have the answers to provide them throughout the routine, right? You just kind of you sprinkle those answers at different parts of the routine in your act. And this is one of those moments. So if I'm shaking them here again, so shake, I drop off the one with the shell, boom, I get that nice moment. If I drop and turn, you instantly go, okay, I see the object, that's exactly how it's done. But if I go like this, I drop and I turn this way, so you don't see the ring yet, your brain doesn't have a connection yet. So when I open up my hand, you see the vanish first. It's funny by saying that, but you really do see in your head and visually the vanish of that coin first. Then you see the ring. So you get the enjoyment of the vanish. and the ring doesn't bother you. The ring isn't even suspect at this time. Not one time have I ever had one person go, you made that sound with your ring. Everybody loses their mind right now. Where did it go? What's going on? Yeah, this is crazy, but 2 point, yeah, I know. Oh, you know what? Oh, sorry about that. Boom. Or I have them do it, right? As they're taking off this to show the reveal of the first coin, I put this back on top. And now, as I'm talking, a lot of people think it has something to do with distance. That's just bullshit, by the way. It's called acting, right? I pick these two up, but I leave this one behind. At the exact same time, I'm going to cover it like so. So I'm leaving one behind, okay? I now place these over here, and I reverse the order because I want the shell on top to the upper right-hand corner, not the bottom. I say, look, I'll do this as slow as I can. I don't want you to see this. Now, obviously, I'm doing it slow for them, to trust me, but I'm also doing it slow so it doesn't clink against the other coin. I come over. Supposedly, it looks like I just take my hand and move one away, right? But what I'm really doing is I'm shelling that coin and then moving away at the same time. Without the covering of the hand, it looks like this to this. And what's nice, if you put that in play at the same time, it looks like you're taking away a coin. I like this a lot better than any kind of purse palm. I can't stand purse palms. It looks exactly what you're doing. It looks like you're, what are you doing there? Why are your fingers all of a sudden like that? It's very strange. And I don't like I don't know if you know this, Adam, too, but like I have you ever seen me do this lately? Like I hate this thing too. I hate the classic putting the coin into here to get that out. Listen, a lot of coin routines, stand-up coin routines, hey, that's fine to do something like that, but not keeping it here.
I just don't know if I've ever in my almost 40 years seen a non-magician hold a coin in that manner for any reason.
That's exactly right. And also, here's the other thing. Since I am doing this on a table, the moment I pick this coin up, I've now destroyed the story I'm creating. The moment I pick this up, it's now becoming a different thing. Why am I picking this up? It makes no sense whatsoever. So it's a very deliberate thing. So this goes over here, right? Very nice. You say, well, slowly right at the fingertips. Look, I won't touch. Go ahead, check it out. Look how clean this is. You're super, super clean at this
Hey,
point,
Justin,
right?
it's actually a pretty good question. I think I know the answer, but Merritt Martin is asking, does the ring need to be on your thumb, or could you do it with a wedding band or a middle finger ring?
Great question. No, if you have a wedding ring or anything here, it's going to be a little different how you do it, because with the ring, I'm literally just letting that son of a bitch hit that, right? If you have, and so what's great about the thumb, there's more of a distance for it to hit, so you get a better sound. If you do it with the other, so let's say you do it here, right? It's way different. I have to turn my hand this way. You see what I mean? And that looks weird, doesn't it? That looks very strange. So I highly suggest that you put it on your thumb and you get your hand can be closed and you get a better sound. Yeah. Good question, Mary. Very good question. So now this is a very clean moment. They lift up, right? Boom. They say, look, I know it's crazy. It's crazy. Now you gotta understand, at this point, they're truly just baffled. They have no clue what's going on. They have no idea. You're way ahead of the game, and you're going to be too ahead of the game in a second, and you're really just going to hit them super, super hard. So I slide the shell and the coin over, really nice. I slide these two over, and I say, I think the problem is that, I keep hiding them, right? I'm hiding them. I'm hide and seek over here. I won't do that this time. And so I'm going to make sure the hole is facing up, upper right-hand corner over here, left-hand corner, I'm sorry. And as I come over to put this underneath, supposedly, I'm just pulling back, right? So you can see that. I'm pulling back with my fingers, and that opens up the hole, right? So I'm there, and I'm putting it right inside that little slot. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. It looks so good. I then slide this one over. Notice my hand's going to cover the entire section over here. I don't cover this coin, though. And this is a move I came up with. I put on the my download for the Neo Coin Matrix, which is a 3-coin, no gimmick coin matrix. But I used a playing card. So this effect is the evolution of the Neo Coin Matrix, where I really am happy with it, with They all vanish at the end. It's just a really great moment. It's going to be done to music too. It's going to be great. So I come over like this. It looks like I just keep that coin there, but what I'm really doing without the cover, I'm going like this. And then the moment my fingers come up, I'm kicking that coin with my thumb and it lands underneath this hand. So I'm stealing this coin just like that. And I've stole that coin. All right. Again, over. I'm kicking. This hand would be there, obviously. Kick. I kind of pat everything down and then move away. So they think there's a coin here and a coin here. Now, again, like I said, don't like purse palms. I don't like those little moves that magicians do with coins. It just doesn't look natural. So I thought, well, how could this look more natural? So honestly, normally what someone would do is they purse palm it and come up and then reveal these coins, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a hold of just the shell, making sure this coin is not seen. And I'm going to move everything forward as I pick up and talk about this last coin for a second. I've now separated that coin, that shell, from the other two coins. Put everything down. I cover. I move over. And I said, listen, you'll be able to hear it this time. You could hear a pen drop at this very moment. Now, what I like about this, again, I love playing with sound and the idea of images and sound. They know that if this is pushed forward, those two should clink together. They should hear a clink. But when they don't hear a clink, it's a very strange moment. It's a very surreal moment. So when I push this in, I get very confused. Now I push down to make sure that that hole's kind of closed. I get very confused, and then I go, I now pick it up by the upper right-hand corner, making sure that that wouldn't fall out. And you can just very slowly turn everything over, lift up your hand, and all the coins are over there. As you're getting your applause, remember my hole's here, I'm going to switch in that shell for the other coin. As I reverse everything, I'm going to do a Benzias friction pass. It's found in Bobo's, a beautiful, beautiful coin move. It allows you to take these coins, and when I throw it, only 2 coins fall because of science. Gotta love science. So that looks stupid. You don't want to do that. Like, look, the vanishing coin trick. You don't want to do that. So what you do is I'm going to let that 1 coin fall out of that hole, just like that. But this is happening behind like this. So my hand's in this position. As soon as I see that silver, I'm going to Benzias, and it's going to connect. Those 2 coins will connect with this coin, and it will look like I've simply taken these 3 coins and throw them over. I pick everything up. I have a savant here. I'm just going to drop that shell inside there. I now am free and clear to show the coins front and back, and you get your applause. Thank you very much.
Got a couple comments.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love the thinking on that. That's from Tim. Merritt says, beautiful. Bob says, clever. Merritt also says, you're killing me. That's a great kicker. I'm sorry. That's great kicking it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wait till you see this part.
There you go.
This is the ultimate favorite of this little routine. It's the vanish, right? I wanted to vanish all 3 coins, and you hear the second and third coin vanish, and then they just disappear. So as I pick these coins up, they're applauding. I almost did it again before. I almost put them inside, which is really funny. Hey, here's the gimmick. I put that inside. I said, look, you can feel it. It's inside. Yeah, they feel it. Come back. Again, I have a savant. If I was doing just stand-up work at a table, I would come this way as I'm talking, and I'd let my hand come underneath and catch that coin, which is why not? Why not do that? But if I'm doing table work and I'm sitting or I have a savant, I'm just going to use my lap. So they feel it. Yes, you feel that. I pick these 2 coins up. I drop this one into the savant. This is a fun little moment here. So that's in there. I turn this around. The hole is here. I place 1 in the hole, 1 underneath. The exact same thing as before, right? But now I'm not doing any assemblies or any kind of transpositions. I'm going to mess with their heads and their ears so much that they're going to, they don't know, they can't go anywhere, which I love it. So I said, listen, you'll be able to hear it this time. Now remember, I have this one here. It's going to fall and hit this coin like that, okay? When it does that, I'm going to time it, and I'm going to push this in at the exact same time. I push it in, and I let that fall. The moment this falls and you hear the noise, I lift my hand up to kind of show this is super fair moment, right? So they think there's 2 under there. I said, listen. It's great. Oh, Just so good. And they say that's the mystery with the 3 coins, the black bag, and I just wad this up, and then I'm going to lap it or savant it at the same time as I come forward and go, and 2 hands. Thank you very much. And then that's it. Thank you very much.
Gotcha, bitch.
Love the questions. Love the questions.
Bob says outstanding. Merritt says, I love that you included sounds so significantly in this trick.
Oh, thank you so much. Wait till you see the next one down the line. You're really going to love that one. I really appreciate that. So one of the cool things we get to do as creators, I really appreciate you guys, thank you, is we get to create, right? And I love what Copperfield calls it. He calls it glorious torture, and it truly is. Creating magic, creating anything that's worthwhile is glorious torture. It's the idea to get there, the plot, the method, the principles involved. How do you combine all these things together and create this thing, this piece of art in front of you? And we get there, which is fun. A lot of times we don't get there the way we want to, but during that time, little moments, little specks of things come from other universes, and they enter our universe and our time period. And you look at them and you go, you've got to be kidding me. I didn't, what's that does that? And it's what Papa Paul Harris calls the happy accidents. I love that word, happy accidents. He took it, only Paul could take 2 words, negative and a positive, and just put them together, and it's just like joy. Absolutely amazing. This is one of those happy accidents. It had to do with a tic tac. But I want to show you one of my absolute most favorite things to do with this principle. Now, I have here some Zinner cards. This is interesting. Adam, you've seen this before. And you would agree, Adam, make sure they know what is about to happen. There's no force. You're not in on this. They need to know that. It's super important.
Just like we rehearsed.
Yeah, exactly. Just like we rehearsed. Inside here, I've got a little, it looks like a little ball paper. They can check that out. I tell them not to open it yet, but they can check it out. Place it back inside here. It's a little tic-tac case. There's nothing more and nothing less. This closes up, and you show some interesting cards. These are Zinner cards. Dr. Zinner in the late 50s, early 60s, came up with this idea of, well, how do we test people for paranormal and psychic abilities? How would we test them? So he came up with these cards: circle, a plus sign, a star, a square, and wavy lines. And he would see if people are psychic, if they had psychic abilities, they should be able to tell him which one was which, right? Now, Adam, I truly have no clue. You don't know at this point. Let's just see how Adam's psychic abilities are. Just to show you that. Watch you get all of them, you son of a bitch. Name one.
Middle.
No, no.
You mean name one of the symbols?
Name the shape.
Let's go the pineapple. I'm just kidding. Wavy line.
The wavy line. Where do you think the wavy line is? Let's see if you have psychic ability.
Middle.
And Adam, seriously, do you know where the wavy lines are? Seriously.
Not a clue.
Okay.
But I know the wavy line's in the middle.
In the middle. Oh my God, you actually have psychic abilities. So they would look at that and they go, okay, that's 1 out of 5, right?
Bring it on.
Maybe that's a possibility. Let's try it again. Name another one.
Square.
Where's the square?
You're far right.
Over here?
Yep.
Adam, you're doing really well, brother. You're doing really, really well.
Freaking you out. Adam, I know I am. You're trying to hide it, but I'm genuinely freaking you out right now.
No. This is a happy accident.
Yeah, circle, middle.
Which one? Where?
Circle, middle.
Right here?
Yep.
Nicely done, brother. Nicely done. And we have idea.
Freaking you out. I know it is.
It's freaking you out too, bro. Come on, let's be real.
I'm shaking right now that I get this. What's left? A star and what else?
I'm just happy we got this on tape, bro.
I know. What is it though? A star.
This is the moment, right? I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Adam, we have the star and we have the cross left.
Okay.
Help me out.
Star, your left.
Over here,
Yep.
Adam, you are a
Oh my
psychic
God, dude.
person, brother.
Yo,
You
can we take a
absolutely.
second for like I swear on my children that I love more than anything in this world that there's nothing set up about this. That's 100% real.
Mm-mm. And I'll tell you right now, guys, this isn't even the trick. This is the
Exactly.
beginning of the trick. This is how you get people to see if they're psychic or not. This was all 100% a happy accident right here. You
That
got
was
to see the
sick,
happy
dude.
accident.
That
I
was
know, right?
sick.
Yay! It's better than that 666 moment we had.
I know.
So,
What the
this isn't gonna affect my pattern. Usually, I would say, so you can see Adam's not very psychic, because normally they wouldn't have gotten that right. So, like Adam, you definitely now lottery go, like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, bro, this is crazy. Now you were able to identify the one at a time, right? Let's see if you could do this in a different way. Maybe see if you could actually predict something that I did way before the show started, before the lecture started. Adam, I'm mixing these up. Would you agree you have no clue where they are?
Yep.
Just say stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Good. There's 5, Adam. Name a number.
3.
Top or bottom? Which way?
3 from the top down, third down.
Third down. That's 1. That's 2. This is 3. Is that correct, Adam?
Hmm?
I want you to look at that shape and remember it. Ladies and gentlemen, remember
No,
that
camera
shape. It's
2.
super, super
Camera 2. There you
important.
go. Got it.
Got it? This goes in here. If you guys were here, you could shuffle these right now. You could mix these right now. 100%. Adam, again, do you know where anything is? Do you know where your shape is right now?
No.
Say stop anywhere you like, brother.
Stop.
Right there. I want to go towards this camera. It's very important you see all those cards. Do you see all those cards, everybody? Adam, can they see all those cards?
Yep.
Good. This is where this comes in. You're thinking of that shape right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
I want you to focus on this little ball of paper. And I want you to send the thought of your shape to this ball of paper. And we're going to see if we can get any kind of connection between the shape and your thought. Fair enough? Check
Fair
this
enough.
out. And you're really focusing on this, yes?
Yep.
You have a heck of a microphone, I'll tell you that right now. And everybody else can focus too, actually. Oh, what was that? That was weird. That was a strange moment. Happened over here. Let me move these out of the way. That over there. Adam, for the very first time, can you tell everybody what your shape was?
The plus.
The plus sign? Did we get it?
Sick.
We got it. Thank you so much. We can applaud. We can applaud all that good stuff. But Adam, I told you, like you were amazingly psychic during the whole time. It was very incredible, and you were able to connect to this wallpaper. The reason you were able to connect is I wrote something on this before we started. Adam, even those 5 times you got those right, this is the one that really impresses me more than anything.
Ta-da! Sick.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Let me show you what I wanted it to do. And it was because I was holding it the wrong way. I apologize. But this is what it's supposed to do. You can get a ball of paper or a Tic Tac or anything to jump inside of a Tic Tac case. And it was a happy accident. It was a little moment. Let me get a better one too. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, so good. The smaller the ball of paper, the easier it will be. So all that's happening is it's on the right-hand side here at the bottom. Thumb is underneath, 4 fingers in front, 4 fingers on top. This finger's in front like a JW grip for coins. Now, depending where your thumb is, if you have a Tic Tac, you can put your thumb over here and it will jump very high. Unfortunately, oh, there we go. That was nice. See, it's doing it now. Beautiful. So, yeah. So that's activated, right? I'm just doing that by clicking down. Great little moment. I was just on the computer. I had a Tic Tac in here. I was messing around, and all of a sudden, I turned around and this jumped out of nowhere. I put it out as the Amazing Mind Reading Mint. Michael Weber got a hold of it. Chad Long got a hold of it. Gregory Wilson, Mark Salem. And we all put this thing together called Reactic. It's part of the packages, the package deals that we have tonight. Very cool effects that we've all come up with. This is the one that me and Mark Salem came up with. Mark Salem, if you don't know, you should know. He's one of the greatest mentalists in the world. Incredible effect. So let me show what's going on here real quick. I have an index over here of four other balls of paper. Now, usually I would put them in my pockets. So I put one here, one here, one here, one here, right? I have the circle one in here, and I just roll these up, making sure the sticky side is on the inside and the writing or the images are on the inside. And I've just basically placed one image per sheet, if you will, of Post-it notes. Let me show you real quick here what I'm talking about. See those? That's how I set it up for you guys, so I know which one's which. Why are they numbered? I'm glad you asked. The reason they're numbered is because I'm using gimmick cards. So I'm using marked cards. This is the circle because there's a 1 right there. You can see it. There's a 5 right here, so that'll be our star. There's a 3, those will be wavy lines, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So everything is super, super fair with this effect. Honestly, what Adam and I just did a few seconds ago had nothing to do. Hey, listen, if you can get those moments, man, get those moments. Those are great little moments. Adam had no idea that was going to happen. I had no idea that was going to happen. So
Genuinely just as fooled as everybody else.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And what I love about this too, there's no force. There's no force. They can do anyone they want. So basically the routine is this. You don't have to do the first part. Let's see if you're psychic, that kind of thing. I think it's fun to do that, to see if those moments come out. And goddamn, would that moment come out. It was a great moment. Glad you guys were here to witness that. That was a once in a lifetime kind of thing, I think. And so I just have them say stop. They name a number 1 through 5, whichever one it is. I just show it to them like this. I turn my head. I know because I can see a 1 here. Now, if it's a 1, at the end of this, when I do this whole like trying to find it type thing, when this jumps, I don't have to do any switches. I can just open this up clearly, take that out, have them open it from the very beginning. If it's a 2, 3, 4, or 5, obviously I'm going to have to do a switch. Let me show you the switches I use. If I'm doing table work, I would put this away and to whatever pocket I have that shape in. So let's say the shape is, let's say it's the wavy lines, right? And I've got the wavy lines over here. So it's 2, 3, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the wavy lines will be here. I put these in this pocket. I grab a hold of that paper ball at the same time as I come out. If I'm doing table work, or sit down work, I will open this up, grab it, and at the same time, I'm going to pull it back and lap it, or it goes into my savant as I turn the hand over like this. So it looks like you're just picking it up and turning over. It's a really nice switch. If I'm not doing table work, if I'm not sitting down, here's another way of doing it. It's super simple. You open this up, you come over, you have their hand open, you drop this out. Don't do that. Sorry about that. I have a different one. I usually have a piece of masking tape right here to cover that. I made a new one tonight, so that's why that happened. So that wouldn't come out. So you open this up, you turn this around. As you turn this over, you drop that one out into their hand. So it looks like that drops out into their hand. It's a super easy switch to do. You close everything up, put this away, and now there's this great moment. They're like, not only did you predict this, not only were you able to get your thoughts into this thing, this jumping thing, but this has been here the whole time. Open it up, and of course, it's the shape that they thought of or saw. This could be a blank deck of cards, and these could be words that are written on them, you know? So you can do anything with this that you want to. I usually try to have about a 5 or 4 ball index instead of like 7 or 8. It just keeps it easier. So there you go. That is tactful. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you. Any questions on those? Beautiful. Another happy accident. Another happy accident. One of those things. Patrick Redford actually came up, discovered this before I did, and published it before I did. And so credit goes to him, and a blessing for him to let me use this and share my ideas with it. So I really appreciate that that Patrick did that. So I was just messing around one day and creating and doing these weird things, and I had set down this card. Basically, I set it down. I walked away. I was doing some other stuff, and I was like, da, 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 and that happened. And I was like, what the hell was that? And it's one of those moments again, you're like, okay, what did I just do? What did I do there? Oh, that's what happened. So this gives you an ability to do some really great mentalism and magic. So imagine now that they get to feel in their hands when a card is restored. They feel the assigned pieces, the assigned card restore in their hands. They only see it jump, they feel it happen. If the card's down there, they feel or see everything happen. You can have them put their hand over it like so. When it jumps, it'll tickle their hand. They'll scream, and it's just great. I love this thing. So what this is, it's a 3M dot. Right now I have a double stick tape on it right now, but it's usually a 3M dot, and that sticks right there. My setup is completely different than Patrick's setup, 100% different. Patrick used a long piece of tape, and I think you should only use a very small piece, and it allows for a better activation for the situation, okay? With a plain card, because it does have more of a spring when it opens, you get a quicker release. So the longer, and also humidity plays a part, oils on your hands will play a part. So this is one of those things like a jack-in-the-box moment. This is like a tip-over pen, right? Or a tip-over a piece of wood, right? You don't really know when it's going to activate, but so you keep pattering and pattering until this thing happens. The longer you push down on that, look, so the longer I have to talk and the longer, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so, again, I don't know when that's going to happen, but right when it happens, I respond to it, and then everybody else responds to it. If your patter, it means that you place this down or place this in their hand, and when you put it into their hand, make sure that the edges, the outside edges, go towards them so they looks like they see all the pieces, right? And what do I mean by pieces? So let's say this is our gimmick. I have it set up. This is the torn card. Let's say this is the moment for David Williamson's Torn and Restored. This is a great moment to restore it without doing any kind of top changes or anything. Or you just have torn a card and you have a dupe, right? So I go and pick this up. I slide everything on top. And what's great is that I can just show these pieces very fairly. And I'm just moving them to the front of the packet. That's all I'm doing. So the packet is from behind, and those pieces are here. Now, let's say I have a pen in my jacket pocket over here. Let's say I had a pocket over here. That'd be fun, huh? So as I'm talking, I'm looking for my pen. I then re-grip here. As soon as I re-grip and take the pieces and the gimmick, I'm going to push that gimmick forward, leaving those pieces behind in a finger palm. As I go to grab the pen here and ditch the pieces. So they think the pieces are here. You now have them sign their initials or name on supposedly one of the pieces. Now remember, the more I push down on this with a playing card, I get a longer or shorter activation. So now when I'm done, I put this away, have them open up their hand, place this onto their hand towards them. I'm telling you guys, you got to try this. It's ridiculous. I don't even know when it's going to happen, and it's like a jack-in-the-box moment. Oh, see, that scared the crap out of me. It just did. It's very strange. And then now there's this great moment. You open it up very visibly, very slowly. They see it. Their signed card restored. They get to feel it. They get to see it. And you just pull back that piece of 3M dot as you hand it off and give it to them as a souvenir. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's really cool, though, if you use this for mentalism, you get something very strange and very creepy. So I've already set up one. You can see what that tape is. Okay. And, ooh, what's going on? What happened? It's very strange. Oh, there we go. So this is on top. I'm getting an echo. Very weird. So this is on top, like this. I turn, so this will be flat. I turn this over. So I do a double turnover of 2 cards. This is like a business card thing. I have them sign something, a name, an object, whatever. Just write something you say. I turn this over. And as I turn this over, I'm getting the information would be here. So I have my finger on the piece, right? So they think they've written something on the back of this card. I place this down. As I turn back, I say, is it okay if I turn back around? Is it, I can't see anything, right? They say, yeah. I turn back around and I instantly look at the information. Let's say it says elephant. I put that away instantly. I then fold this up so I can't see anything. I then activate that piece of tape. Now, with business cards, if it's only the stock and you're not using like a glossy, this is going to take longer to activate because it's thinner and there's not as much spring as there is in a playing card, right? It's a different stock of card. So the longer I press this down, the longer I'm going to get, right? So I just want to open this up a little bit just to show you. So remember that when you mess around with this kind of stuff. Now I take a glass. They've signed, remember, they've signed this. They say, I'm going to try to steal your thought. I activate the tape at that point. I place it down. I'm talking. I said, look, I'm going to try to steal your thought. Think about what you're thinking about. I do a cold reading type thing. As I'm talking, I'm talking. Now, again, like I said, see, it takes longer. So my pattern would be different, right? I wouldn't press down that long. But hopefully we'll get this. I'm talking. And it activates, of course, because it's a perfect world. And again, I did press it down too far. Let me do it one more time where it's not pressed that far.
What Merrick did ask if you could show where it goes one more time with the card open. I think you did,
Absolutely.
but just in case. There.
Yes. There it is. There's that moment. And so as soon as I get that moment, I pause and I go, oh, wait a second. This is an animal. So all this information is just coming to me like it's flooding, right? It's just coming to me. They see this moment happen. I then reveal the information. And then I lift up, I tell them elephant, and I say, no, I really did steal your thought. I turn everything over, and now it's completely blank, right? I really love that. You want to go one step further with this? This is really sexy. Do the exact same thing, and you have the pen. So as they're signing everything, right? They're signing. You're folding up. You don't activate it yet. You place it down like so. It's not activated. You take the pen. And you say, look, it's important. I don't want to look. But I want you to look around the edges in the glass. Make sure you cannot see in there. Is it? Can you see that word? Everybody's gonna do it. And what you do, since you already have the information, you write very quickly the name of the thing they're thinking of, whatever, on your hand. Now, there's 2 ways to go with this. Once it's on your hand and they don't see you do it, you put the pen away secretly. You come back, you activate it, you do this, you put your hand over like this. You say, I'll try to steal your thought. And again, remember, it is a piece of paper, so it's going to take a little bit longer. I go like that, and I go, this is an animal. Yeah, this is an elephant. They say elephant. Boom, I turn my hand over, and on my hand is written that name, which is crazy. They open it up, and it's empty. Or you can do an instant stooge at this point. You say, look, boom, 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 boom. It's not activated yet. And then you come over to somebody and say, look, I'm going to try to hypnotize you. Think of just nothing. Do you see anything? No. And then you put your hand up in front of them. You say, I want you to think of the first thing you see. And so as it's coming towards them, again, it's an instant stooge. You touch their forehead. You say, for the first time, what is the thing that you see? And they'll say the word. They will say the damn word. And if you time it where they say the word and that son of a bitch jumps, woo, boy, oh boy, boy, do you have some great theater there. They say it, they freak out, they open it up, and it's completely gone. So yeah, that is that little piece of mystery. Yeah, I would love to show you where this is. So if I were to open up a playing card, I'm going to place that right above there. So if I was looking down upon it, it's at the corner, the bottom right corner this way, right? And that's exactly where we want that piece. That's why I use double stick tape so you guys could see it pretty easily. Same thing with this, exact same spot. I hope that helps. It's very sexy. You should definitely try it. It's so much fun. Whew. Little happy accidents. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. Happy accidents. Any questions? Are we rocking around? Cool.
No, looking pretty good.
This will be the last piece. thank you guys so much for coming and enjoying. I hope you're enjoying this. What? Oh, this sucks. I don't know. Who knows? We wanted to do something special for you guys, so we really appreciate you guys letting us in your house. So this effect, I have a love and hate relationship with. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old, since I first knew about it, and I saw somebody do it, and I instantly fell in love with it. I just wanted to perform it. I felt like it felt like you became somebody when you performed this effect. And it's something that was created by John Ramsey in 1948, and it stood the test of time for a coin routine and for a magic effect, because it's a piece of theater and it's a piece of showmanship. And what I've done with it is I've taken out all the unnecessary moves. I've taken out the magic wand. If this is your character and you want to use the wand still, go ahead. I've also put in some really special moments that I think you'll appreciate and get little goosebumps with. So let's see what happens here. So I got some little weird props here, little interesting things that I don't really care about that. We'll go to camera one. Yes?
You're on camera one, yep.
Perfect. I don't really care about that right now. Actually, it's this thing. It's a little cylinder with a little piece of cork. I don't want to drop that. That's good. A little piece of cork. Put that over there. And 3 coins. 3 peace dollars. Beautiful coins. Silver. Listen. Let's do that again. I love that. Ah, so good. What was Dave Neighbors' joke about this? Do you know why they ring? He used barter half dollars, right? He goes, "Do you know why they ring? It's the bells on the back or something like that." I don't know what Dave Neighbors says all the time. I love that guy. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to tell you ahead of time what I'm going to do before I do it. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but I am. So the idea is that the coins are going to vanish from my hand, and they're going to reappear with that little piece of cork. Now, there's some stipulations. I'm not going to touch the cylinder. I'm not going to go near the cylinder when this happens. It's just going to happen. Everybody asked me the same thing. Well, how do you vanish an item? Thinking about that, I was like, well, I don't really vanish it using magic per se, like the supernatural magic. I look at the items as what they are. They're coins. So I think about it this way. I think almost like a scientist would think. I think about the sound. That's important. And I also think about the objects themselves. There's 3 objects that are making sound. If I could get the sound to go away, I can get the coins to go away. And they reappear back underneath that damn little piece of cork. Crazy. Thank you very much. And of course, they can check these out and make sure they're all whatever at this point. Let's go one step further. I think here, let's do this. Let's go one step further with this. We'll do this super, super slow. We'll put the coins here. We'll put the coins this way, like that. Perfect. Now the idea is backwards, actually. I've got to try to get this piece of cork into that cylinder at the exact same time. Oh, there's the piece of cork. Oh, sorry, I put that back in there. So if that's the 3 coins, that's hilarious. That is the piece of cork right there.
Just redo that from there. Just start that.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny, dude. It's so funny. I do this every day. Here, let's do this. Put this right here. Perfect. So the idea, I've got to try this, is to get this piece of cork inside the cylinder and get the coins out at the same time. Hopefully, if I go like this, you can see those are the 3 coins. 1, 2, 3. A mystery with 3 coins. A piece. I took the cork out. That's hilarious. Pay no attention. Pay no attention. And that's piece cork. That's the little cylinder. And that's the little thing right there. Let's do this one more time. Can I do one more time?
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my.
Let me do a different version, okay? I'll do a different version. Let's do this. Okay. Here's the idea. I've got 3 coins there. I've got a cylinder here. Look, you got a little cork. Goes right through both sides. Okay, cool. The idea is very, very simple. Take the coins in one hand. The piece of cork goes into the cylinder. And the idea is to get them to change places. Yeah, if I squeeze, listen. The best part, you can actually hear it though. Yeah. Right there, yeah, I think that's when it happens. That's the piece of cork. And of course, those are the 3 coins. You have no idea how hard that is. You can applaud if you'd like. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's try this one more time. The coins go here. The piece of cork goes here. And of course, that's the coins. That's the piece of cork. And there you go. I'm so sorry. It didn't work out. You know what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened. There's a moment when I picked up this stack, the piece of cork fell out. I've never had this happen before. I'm glad you witnessed it. The universe is like, all right, kid, I'm going to give you this ESP thing like crazy. Your coin thing's going to suck. So let me show you what this is. It's a mistake. No, it's 3 coins, a stack that's been soldered together with a little hole at the bottom, a piece of cork, another piece of cork, right? I sell these. It does work. It's the worst thing to do, right? Show a trick. It doesn't work. No. By the way, I sell this. Great. You get the coins. You don't get the silver coins. You get the really nice coins, though. They're peace dollars. Plus the cap. Everything fits nicely with rubber band. Big utility band. So let me show you the things I've taken away that I think you'll appreciate. I've taken out some moves. So the way this starts off is I have this little cap here. I'm going to put the 3 regular coins there. I'm going to place a cork on top, place the gimmick on top of that. Cork goes over there. This goes on top of that. So as I come out, I can lift up that gimmick as I pull everything away and just set everything down. Really beautiful moment. So John was able to really come up with a brilliant way of moving things around nicely. And so I dumped these out. I say, and so now his whole issue at this point was, how do you get them to believe this is just a cylinder with 2 holes without exposing this, but at the same time kind of making it look like it's fair? And this is what he came up with. He put a piece of cork here on his fingertips. He puts this here. He turns everything over with the death grip, shows it, comes back, and that's it. I think it's an unnecessary move. It's not needed anymore. So what I'm doing now is, as I place these over here, I kind of come forward, and because I'm working tables, right, or like a parlor situation, I'm going to come forward, and everything is hidden by the hand. So I'm picking this up. So it's almost like a tip over trunk type thing, right? But instead of the gimmick coming with it, as with a tip over trunk or box, I'm leaving the gimmick behind as I come forward. And then I pick this up, turn everything around, show it free and clear. I come back, and then I load that over the cylinder as I show the cork, put it here, squeeze the gimmick, and then place everything on top. I'm now ready to reveal that part. You can make the coins vanish one at a time if you want to. I go with all at the same time because I can get a really good sound image in people's heads, which is really fun. So all I'm doing here for this vanish, I'm just going like this, right? I'm just going, boop. And so these fingers are just covering it at the same time, right? Just like that. Like French drop position, right? You make that sound, which is really nice. This hand comes this way, and I just kind of mime everything together, and it looks like you place those there. Notice my arm still moves a little bit because that's what you would do. You don't want to do this and then come, oh, there you go. I got 3 coins. You don't do that. Show the coins, place them in the hand, and that arm moves just a little bit. Now, if I shake, obviously there's nothing there. But if I turn my body and I shake as if I'm kind of, oh, come here, I want you to hear this. I'm going to create a rattle gimmick that you can do in your short sleeves. It's really great. And all I'm doing is I'm shaking these coins against each other like this with this hand. And I can do it slow. I can do it faster, depending whichever you want. So when I shake here, it just sounds like those coins are there. Ah, so much fun. So much fun. The best way to practice this is to look in a mirror, turn your like this, and then hold your hand here, making sure you can't see your other hand, and shake those coins and just get the right tempo. And it just looks so good. It sounds so good. So you're going to get these coins to vanish, and they're not going to know how you did it. It's really beautiful. Now, as I turn back around, I'm going to make sure that these coins, I can do one of two things at this point. So I'm going to show you how I can pick these coins up. There's a couple different ways. So as I come back around, let's say I'm going to keep these in finger palm, right? So I've done this a couple times. Don't overdo it, obviously. Come back around, talk about how you're using science. I try to get the sound to go away first, then I get the coins. Now, if I open up my hand and my hand's still here, this hand is immediately suspect, right? So as soon as I open up my hand, this hand goes towards the coin or towards the cylinder and lifts up. Super important, super, super important. It's a difference between this, immediately that hand. So now, even if I go forward with this hand is still suspect. I don't care if they see those coins. They're still going to think I'm hiding something over here. But if I've just done this, here, as I turn, this hand comes up, making sure the windows are closed, and I shake, and I open it, and I come forward. Now there's this explosion of like, this is where the coins were, right? Or where they showed up. So I lift up, boom, I get my applause, I come over, I kick that off. Now, with this way, because they're in this position, I'm going to pick up this entire stack plus the gimmick underneath, right? So the gimmick and the cork, and I'm going to bobo switch it basically into this hand as I reverse everything and throw everything down. This is a nice moment in the routine that you've never been able to get, and it allows you to go, the routine's over. And it's not over. You're going to kick him in the pants. So it's here. You say, look, yeah, you can check everything. It's the weirdest thing. I just come back. I have this gimmick here. I don't try to squeeze it tight or anything. If you want, you can let it slide here, so you can move it around as you're talking or whatever. I wouldn't go too far into that. The other way, and this is where I messed up, and this is where it went downhill completely, unfortunately. I was going like this, and I realized like, oh, maybe I can put it in classic palm. So I was trying to create something new and whatever. Boom, this hand comes here. I like this part for one reason, because once this hand is here, this opens up, and this immediately opens up. I really like that, because it really feels like, so if I go like this and they think there's something here, this hand opens up immediately and comes forward. So, oh, it's right there. Nope, this hand's suspect. Nope, no, wait, where are they? And they're there, right? So that's what they're going through in their head. This is what I did before. I pushed this off, right? As soon as I pushed this off, I grabbed here, and I was supposed to go like this and then throw, right? So I'm Benzai's friction passing this entire stack and leaving the gimmick behind. That's not what happened. Unfortunately, what happened was I screwed up. I picked this up, and as soon as I picked this up, this fell out, and it turned over, and this whole thing started going like this now. Now I was left in this position, and this cork, see, it's not going to do it now. This cork was, I don't know if you guys saw it, but this cork was just out. And I'm like, shit, what do I do at this point? So I don't think I recovered well, unfortunately. I should have thought of this. I should have just like tossed there, right? That's not bad. So if that happens, here's what you do. If you get stuck like this for whatever reason, throw the coin. So the gimmick's here, the coins are in the middle, and the cork's here, push down. And if I throw, those three will come out from the center. The cork will go directly back into the gimmick, right? And don't watch a camera when you're doing this, by the way. So here, if you do it strong enough like that. So don't do it, in other words. That probably is another better way of saying that. So that goes there, yeah. So that's how I messed up. I apologize about that. What was supposed to happen is I was supposed to pick it up like this, and then you could examine everything. So they think this is all done with. As they're kind of, whatever they're doing, I pause and I let this gimmick fall out as I bring the cylinder back and close everything up. I pick up the coins, and it's going to look like I take the coins and place them down. But I've really switched out those three coins with the gimmick. And what I'm doing here, without the cylinder on top, I'm doing the exact same thing I did here with this vanish, but I'm reversing it a little bit. I'm letting that same moment happen, right? So it's going into a Ramsey subtlety. Supposedly I'm placing these down, and then I'm revealing that. So I lift up, do that, they hear it. I then grab the cylinder with this hand because I need this hand to do something. I pull that away as I reveal the coins, and then I slide that over here. Now, again, I have a savant, and if I was using some table work for lapping, I would just pick this up. I have the coins in finger palm position. I come forward, or I'm sorry, diagonal. At the same time, I thumb palm the cork. I throw the coins. I let this fall into the savant. As I pick this up and show 3 coins, I pick up the gimmick. I show a piece of cork. As soon as I look at the cork, I reverse this, right? So everything's happening here, and I put that in front of the stack, and I say a piece of cork and an empty cylinder. Why I do like a pumpkin seed vanish type thing. Thank you very much. Or if you want, again, if you're using, like I said, if you're using this situation here and you have this, one of the things I like to do, if I was doing this for a live audience, I would put 2 coins here and 1 coin here. And I'd come forward, drop those 2 coins, come forward again, drop that coin, come inward like this. And as I come to grab the piece of cork or to wave my hand over the cork, so I'm in this position, I come inward so they can't see those 2 coins. I wave. I reveal now the coins are on the outside. This goes either to the side of the close-up table or into my savant, showing the coins. And I do the exact same thing. There's a piece of cork. I look at it. I turn this, and then inside there. Or you can let it drop into your savant.
One guy, Eddie, is asking if you could show what your savant looks like.
No. Cool. Next question. I can't because it's something I'm going to be. I have a prototype I'm working on right now to get. So I will have this eventually on the market. I will say this: it has advantages that other things, other savants don't have. It's not a static savant. It actually rotates. It moves. So by just touching one side, I can So let's say this. So let's say I'm in this position here, and I want to grab this. Right. I vanish the coin. If I let go of my thumb, this savant will now swing to this direction. As I'm talking, I can come over and re-grip here, and now I have the savant in this position. So now if I wanted to vanish a card or something over here, I could do that in this position over here. Also, it has 2 pockets. So if you want things to clink together, that's great. It's right in the middle. But if you don't, you can actually put them in different pockets as you drop them in. It's a great question, and you will be able to see it shortly, but not right now. I do appreciate you wanting to see it, though. There you go. That's my time, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. So real quick, the links are already in the section there, description. We have 2 packages that we put together for you guys. They're discounted packages. The first package is over $275 worth of magic and mentalism for only $50. And then the second package is you get 450 or 400, something like that, of magic for only $100. Adam's books are in there. Creativity, so good. His split projects alone is just worth. I think it's just incredible. You'll see a little bit later on. But I also sell these. These are the cylinder and coin sets. This is the Italian set. I do not have any silver coins, unfortunately, anymore. And I also have a black leather cylinder set as well. The black leather cylinder is usually $99. For the lecture tour, it is only $60. And then for the Italian leather, it's usually $119. It's only $80. So I took everything down by $39 for you guys. And there you go, guys. If you have any questions at all, anything about the routines, anything about me personally, my personal life or anything, love to answer all your questions. Thank you guys so very much. I really appreciate it.
One more for Justin Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, just trying to set up one camera real quick. All right, so I'll take it over from here. Nope, that's the wrong one. So I will go to there. Cool. Thanks again for being here, guys and girls. I am going to just dive right in. You're here to see some magic, so let's show you some magic. I'm going to start with something I did to open my set at the Magic Castle, and it's a really pretty way to use a deck that you probably already have, but maybe haven't used this way. So we'll dive right in. This is to music, so I'll play a little bit of music, and we'll get right into it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, great job, Justin. Links to the items were sent in the original email. What's the name of the coins in the jewelry purse? I missed it. Thank you. So the coins, that's Justin's cylinder and coin set. So cool. All right, we'll get into this. Here we go. All right, there it is. So I call that I Paint Dreams. Beautiful, nice. Oh, awesome. Thank you. It's a fun way to do a mental photo deck that uses the table, a little more theatrical. I think mental photo is one of the best card tricks ever invented for many reasons, but I loved it for many, many years in strolling and developed this because I wanted to do it at the castle where I could sit down. So, oh, this is really pretty. Very nice. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Tim. Thanks, Sean. It's pretty simple. I mean, a mental photo deck, if you guys aren't familiar, uses two principles. Uses a rough and smooth principle, which allows for the cards to stick together, very much like a invisible deck. And then it also uses the Svengali principle, which is long and short, which allows me to show either an entire printed deck or an entire blank deck, depending on which way I orientate the deck. So what I'm going to do is come out now. In mental photo decks, these things, you know, they're finicky. So the way before I start is I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to test the freshness of the deck, because the more you perform with this, the coating will start wearing off, and you'll get to a point potentially where when you spread them, they're not sticking as much because the roughing spray has worn off. So I just want to double check before I perform. I'll show you how much I perform this trick. It really is one of my all-time favorite card tricks. I just have stacks of mental photo decks because I want to be able to perform freely. I think that's one of the most important things about the mental photo is the way that you handle the deck. A lot of people go like this because they're really nervous that one's going to split. And I think it's not even worth doing if you can't just very comfortably and casually spread the cards. It's about the freeness of handling this deck, which really sells it. So to me, I mean, the only thing I've got to do is add one little piece of sleight of hand to the whole thing, and you've got a little miracle. So always double check that your deck is in good order, and then put it face up. So when I cut the cards, I'm going to show a face card. And I leave that in the box just like that. I get myself a paintbrush, and my whole internal dialogue for this entire routine is a bit of confusion, wonder, and play, right? So this is new to me. I'm confused as well. So I'm going to come out, I'm going to show the cards. Now I know when I pull them out, they're face up. So that's good. Now I don't have to check and try and find if it's face up or face down, because if it's face down when I cut, it's going to be blank. That's not going to work. So I know I'm in the right orientation. And again, I'm in a bit of a state of shock. I'm looking at these like, what the hell? This is odd. Wonder what this is for, right? So just that's my internal dialogue throughout, okay? So I'm going to show both sides, and this is a really cool benefit of a mental photo deck. Now be careful, because the cards are cut short, so if you don't have a really deep grip, and I just mean by a deep grip, I just mean you have to curl your fingers over a little more, then that when you go to spread the cards, that bottom card might fall. You don't want that, okay? It actually happened in the performance, so but I worked through it. So what I'm going to do is spread the cards, and that's a really convincing, right, display. Cool thing about a mental photo deck is if you're careful about it, you can show both sides, and that is such a convincing display for a lay audience. There's no way anyone could think anything except that's 52 blank pieces of paper. So you want to be a little bit cautious as you square them up, just so they don't split. But now I need to turn the deck over again so I'm in the right orientation with face up. Okay, then I'm going to paint to the music, right? And then I kind of pause, I wait, I cut, but in the performance, one fell from the bottom. I don't think it's a big mistake. Still looked okay. The point was I'm painting and one card comes into play. Normally what I would do is paint. I try and time that to the music the best I can. And then I cut and I show. So I'm surprised. Holy shit. Wow, I printed a card. Must be this, right? That's my internal dialogue. Then I'm going to come over, square up, do a side steal color change, and make that card vanish. Side steal color change. I have an entire project on just this. I love this move. I think it's a very beautiful color change. I'll go through it quickly. I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm still practicing daily. So I'm no expert, but basically you're going to push it over with my left fingers from underneath into a palm position, okay? And then as I wave, I'm going to drop that off in the waving. A few notes. I like to gesture before I do it to emphasize an empty right hand. And then I need a reason to come over to the deck. So my reason is to square up. And in the squaring up, I'm going to side steal. And then I'll square up once more as it's palmed already. So from here, try not to do this where you wave really big. And then when you drop the card, you come small. I don't think it's as convincing as if you continue that wave, right? So you square up, wave big, and continue that wave throughout. It's a little more of a convincing illusion in my opinion, okay? So you're going to side steal color change. You can do a version I've been playing with for many years, which is just a clip. So I get a little more freedom of my hand, a little more openness of my hand. Show open, come over, side steal, and now I'm pointing because I've just, instead of a palm, I've done it into a clip type palm. I show here, and then you can get this really elegant disappearance of a card. If you do that, you can do this whole trick. So I've printed the first card. I'm surprised. I pause. I gesture, I square the deck, side steal, wave, and that one goes. Okay, first one gone. I'm now confused again, so I go looking for it. Not there, so I spread this on the table again, and then I pick the paintbrush up. I'm going to paint 4 cards now. Again, my internal dialogue, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I show the audience 2, 3, 4, right? I just sort of foreshadow 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pick that up. Now I'm going to cut, and that's going to show the first card, okay? Now I'm going to take about 10 to 12 cards, put them on the table. That reveals the second card here, and as I slide down, they see nothing but white except for that card. And that's obviously because of the rough and smooth principle, right? Cut again, about 10 to 12 cards, slide down. Cut again, about 10 to 12, slide down. Pick the paintbrush, set it in the center, and slide the last packet down. Now, a few notes. This is split. I can see that it's split a little bit, right? So as you're performing, you might see things like this. Don't freak out. Just work through it. They don't know what's happening. If it does happen, don't freak out and close the packets really quickly. Let this sink in. That is real magic, okay? 4 cards just printed. And I want this image in their head. 4 cards and a bunch of blank, okay? Because we're going to replicate this image in just a second. So you square up the cards now. And when you square them up, just be a little bit careful, kind of pinch the corners. Because sometimes as you square them up, they'll get some air in them, and that will happen. Excuse me. Once they get air in them, they can split and they'll show a card. You don't want that, so just be diligent in sort of squaring corner to corner and pinching the corners like that. Now I give the power to an audience member. So I give this to someone in the audience and I point to them to go like this, right? So I'm asking them sort of like, and they do it. I get them really involved and I want them to get excited about it. So I make a big to-do about it and I'm pantomiming. And as soon as they do it and they're really into it, I'll go to the audience and say, give them a round of applause. Once I've done that, again, they just saw that image of blank and a few cards printed. So now what they're going to see by simply just dribbling the cards like this and pulling down at the same time, okay? So I'm grabbing at the ends, right? The 2 long ends. I'm grabbing, dribbling, and pulling down. Grabbing, dribbling, and pulling down. Pulling down, and pulling down, okay? Let that sink in. Again, a very, very magical moment for a lay audience. Now I'm going to square. Oh, I'm sorry. And this is an important note. Sometimes this will happen. Like I said, they'll split and they'll see some blank. Okay? When I first started doing this, I'd get really paranoid and I'd square them up. Trust me, don't freak out. It doesn't matter. Try not to make it happen, but don't freak out if it does. And I also pause to give that moment to the spectator, right? They did it with the wand. They're responsible for this, so they get the applause. And I make sure they do. Okay, let the applause kick in or die down. Square them all up. And now I'm going to pick them up in the same order I placed them down, which was left to right. So left to right. And this is the first time that the audience will see the back. So if you'd like to, you can take this. I could give it to an audience member, and then I just come over like that on the back. And I show that that audience member has now painted all of the backs as well. 52 faces, 52 backs. I leave this nice and sloppy on purpose because that's a really pretty display of all the cards printed. It also justifies me coming over to square the deck up with my right hand, which gives me the perfect opportunity to side steal. Okay, watch that window that I just flashed massively from. So you side steal, and that last one, if you want to get crazy, you can pick the paintbrush up one last time, try and convince them your hand's empty. Don't need to, but the last one is the exact same. You wave, that goes, and you close out, showing an entire blank deck, front and back, okay? So that's I Paint Dreams. I hope you guys like that. Not gonna lie, it feels very awkward to be pushing a button to get my own applause for the my own trick, but it is what it is. I hope you guys like it. If there's any questions, just pop them in there as always. But I'm just gonna keep moving right along, show you a bunch of stuff, and if the questions come up, there's a little bit of a delay. I'll just pause and go into the answer. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a different kind of a trick here. This is not mine. I'm just gonna perform this for you. It's a friend of mine named Avi Yap. So if you want to learn this, I would love for you to go hit him up. Say you saw me perform it. I just put his name in the comments here. He's one of the most talented coin magicians I've ever met. So this is his. Just wanted to show you real quick. So normally you guys have seen these tricks where a magician will take some cards and some coins, and normally they'll cover the coins in sort of a one card per coin kind of manner. I'm going to do the same thing, but eliminating the cards. Okay, so it looks like this. There's 1 and 1. There's 2. If I come over here, that's 3. It's pretty neat. I want you to really see this one go across. So I'll do it nice and slow, but the easiest way to do it is to actually reset, and we can start from the beginning. Watch. That's 1. That's 2. That's the last one. That's 4 coins, 2 hands, nothing more, nothing less. Cool. Hope you dug that. Again, just a little something to break up the card stuff. I do a lot of card stuff, so I wanted to share that with you. If you want to learn that, talk to my friend Avi. He would be more than happy to share it with you, I'm sure. Let me show you one that's really fun. So this is something that, for the workers out there, I think you'll see the potential in it. It's not a magician-y trick. It's a worker trick. When you do this to real people in the real world, it absolutely kills. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to pretend you're here and performing to you. Hi, my name's Adam. You may know I'm a magician, but you probably didn't know that I'm also a hobbyist photographer. And when I've combined the 2 hobbies, you get some pretty cool toys, this being one of them. This may look like a camera drawn on a card box or something, but no, my friend. This is some cutting edge technology. And it's actually what's inside of it that is going to blow your mind. So this will come into play in just a second. We'll leave it aside for now. But what I want to show you are these mental photo paper. It sounds goofy and weird, but basically what these things are, they're individual little pieces of paper that have a very strange property that once you put your initials in here, it becomes kind of crazy and can read your thoughts. You got to keep the thoughts pretty simple. It can't be something extravagant. But let me give you an example. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I can get a pen here, I'm going to have, since you're not here, we'll obviously use my initials, but I'll put my initials right in here. We'll let that dry. I say, now again, this is a mental photography paper. So you mix the paper with your thought and the camera. You can get some pretty cool stuff to happen. You let it dry, and that's all it takes to activate it. And then we'll actually put it inside of the camera, and we'll wait for that to develop. It develops once you get a thought. So the first thing we need to do is get a thought for you. I'm going to close this up. You don't want too much light on it or it can overdevelop. Now, normally, the way I would do this is I would just have you pick a playing card, because playing cards are super easy. It's not too much of a thought. There's a pretty bright color scheme. So because these are all just those special photo paper, I don't have any cards here. It's going to be impossible for me to have you print those, so or have you pick one this way. But let's do it like this. I'll set these in your hand, ma'am. Could you hold on to those? So the lady holds on to the mental photo paper. She has her hand on top of it. Say we'll just use, it's a mental photo deck. So let's use I got to have a regular deck in here somewhere. Perfect. We'll use this. I'll get rid of these. And I'm going to go through, it's very important that you notice this is a normal deck of cards. There's 52 of them in here. Nothing funny, just normal cards, okay? And as I cut, you just say stop whenever you'd like, ma'am. Right here? Great. Remember your card. Don't show it to anyone, but keep that image burned into your brain, okay? And again, you could have picked any one of these cards. They're all different. You could have picked any one. Great. So you have one card in mind at this point, and I want you to think of it as I take a photograph of your thought. So go ahead and think of your card. Stare right into the lens. 1, 2, and perfect. Let's see how we did. Oh, uh-oh. That's embarrassing. It hasn't developed yet. What's going on here? Oh my God. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry. Rookie move. I totally forgot the flash. Okay. Now that we got the flash on, go ahead and look again. Now send it. Perfect. We'll take a photo and we'll place that in your hand. You give it a moment. I think it's done. Look at that. Your thought has now developed on your photo paper. Now you let that sink in, and then I say, oh, wait a minute. Ma'am, you've been holding all that other photo paper, but when I showed her all the cards, did you see all the faces of the cards? This might be a problem because your hand was on the deck. All those thoughts that you were just thinking, all my photo paper, I knew it. Now it's all developed because you saw them all. Oh, now I got to go buy a whole bunch more new photo paper. And that's it. Okay, so that's shutterbugging. Shutterbugging is what it is. That's it. It's a very commercial piece of magic. And I would just ask that you don't overlook it. Maybe try it once, and I think you'll understand the kind of reaction it gets. So what do you need for shutterbugging? Well, You need a deck of cards that you're going to draw these little squares in the bottom right corner. You just want them all in the same corner. And essentially that's because when I do a reverse fan of a deck, it shows the whole deck blank, okay? That's all we're doing here. So I have a blank card with a square on it. I have a gimmick card, okay, where I cut a square out and then just filled it in with Sharpie, okay? And then you have to force the aces. So it's got to be an ace card because that fits there and I can camouflage the rest of the card. Okay? So what you do is you put this on, you draw a Sharpie. You take your Sharpie and draw it around the edge there. Then you're going to peel that off and just thicken the line up a bit so it looks like that. Okay? So this cover card goes on top. We'll just recycle the ace of diamonds. So when you pull the deck out, obviously you draw this on the box, and then you draw this little flap with, it's just a little X star thing, okay? So I just cut the flap, and then I can get that flash gag. And if you have a thumb tip flasher, that's a great time to use the thumb tip flasher, okay? So if you say, oh, you make the joke, you put the flash up, and now you hit with the thumb tip flasher, and a real flash happens, super fun. So the setup is this. The ace goes here. The gimmick card goes on top, the blank card on top of that. I pull the cards out, I reverse fan them, okay? So by reverse fanning, I'm showing a whole bunch of blank. I'm explaining the situation, squaring that up, casually peeling the top card off. Again, that AW wouldn't be there yet, but just be careful that this doesn't happen because your finger would normally hold the position of this top gimmick, but because it's a cutout, you just have to be careful that you're holding and lining up the cards with your other fingers, okay? So I peel this off in my explanation as I'm saying what these are. I place it to the bottom and I have them sign their initials there. Don't worry about them hitting the edge. I just say keep it inside the box. They put their initials there. Now you turn the deck over and I'm doing, it's not even a second deal, right? I'm just taking that card out, but I do that as I wrist kill and that goes to the table. This then goes into the pack. It goes into the pack with the flap down, okay? Keep that in there, the flap down, so I can come back and by holding this pip, by covering this pip, I can get a nice little depth illusion of a blank card. You don't get that same depth illusion on the other side. It just doesn't look as convincing. So I put it in flat down, okay? Then I can show again your thought of, this is your mental photo paper, I need a thought to print on it, okay? Just don't expose that. So it goes in, you force the ace of diamonds. While you're forcing it, make sure they see all the other cards. Because this doesn't seem like it's a strong moment for people, but it really, really is. It really fries them. Because remember, their photo paper is now in the camera, okay? And I'm saying I would normally have a card selected, but I can't do that with this deck because remember, these are all blank. Ma'am, do me a favor. Take these and put your hand on top of it. So lay audiences think that's a completely blank deck. It's such a powerful trick, this little kicker ending, and you do very little work to get there. So don't underplay this. This is a really cool moment. I genuinely didn't think it would be as strong as it is until I started performing it. So now you force the ace of diamonds. You make sure they see all the other cards. You take your photo, do the gag. The gag is also another another justified reason to show them one more time a completely blank card before the reveal. Then you pull that out, hold it up, take their photo, put it in their hand. The rest is theater. Now I've played around with doing it either way, but face up or face down. I like it this way so they can instantly see their signature and the card is printed. Casually showing nothing else in the box as I drop it down. Then I make the reference to this and say, uh-oh, sometimes the thoughts can get picked up and now I've probably ruined the rest of my photo paper. I can't just turn the deck immediately over and show because these two cards are here. So all I do is I come over, do this, I riffle 3 or 4 cards and just casually cut. So now when I turn over, I can show every single card is now printed. And I'm showing the boxes just so they can see, okay? Again, just try this in the real world. I think you'll understand. It's one of those things that...
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Eddie, let's see, Eddie Goldstein asked, can you go over the force you use?
So I use a timing force. That's my favorite force of all time, the timing force. I'll show you a little bit of work on it. You know, any force will work, but I think the timing is such a great force. So we're going to force the Jack of Diamonds. Justin, are you there?
Yep.
All right, Justin, I'm going to cut small packets to the table. Whenever it feels right for you, can you just say stop?
Sure.
Before I
Stop.
get to the end, only had so many. So that's
Oh, my bad.
that's a good way. It's obviously a little bit harder over Skype, but what we're doing.
Yeah, since I can't see you at all.
Right. So the timing force is my go-to. I'm going to cut whatever I'm forcing into the middle. Okay, so I'll leave it face up. I'm going to cut that into the middle. I'm going to keep a break on it. And then as I cut to the break, I'm just saying, I'm going to cut small packets. Whenever it feels right, do me a favor and just say stop. Now, before, I have 2 cuts left. Okay, I'm going to cut here and then one more cut. So the deal is that the instructions for me stop with 2 cuts left. I'm going to cut small packets to the table. Whenever you'd like, just say stop. So if they say stop here, that's the card. If they say stop here, that's the card. And if they don't say stop there, then the rest of the pack goes on side jogged. As I say, no, before we get to the end, we only have so many. And because it was side jogged, my pinky then grabs right there, squares up, and I go right back into it. Say stop when you'd like. Right there, perfect. Okay? If you don't like the timing force, there's another really simple force, which is the riffle force, right? So what I would do is take that same force card, cut that into the middle while holding a break. So thanks for the question, Eddie. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's keep digging in here. It's a really simple way to reveal some cards, okay? So I've got this set up, I believe, as, yeah, so this is a couples compatibility test, right? So you make a joke and say, oh, you guys married? Cool. How long have you been together? Oh, 5 years? Awesome. Well, this deck of cards is going to tell me if you guys have another 5 years in you. Let's see how we do. I'll pick the first card. Let's just go with a random one. How about the, what did we get? Ooh, Queen of Hearts. Perfect. Sir, that's the Queen of Hearts. I'm going to ask you to basically try and find something compatible to this queen. So let's pretend this queen is your wife. As I cut through, you just say stop whenever it feels right. Right there? Okay, perfect. So that was the Queen of Hearts. Let's see if this is compatible. Not bad. It's also a heart. I would say that's pretty compatible. Not the most compatible. It's not the King of Hearts, but it's still very compatible. Ma'am, this is where you come in to shine. We're going to do the exact same thing. I'll cut small packets. You say stop when you'd like. Right here? Perfect. So far, we have a Queen of Hearts and a 4 of Hearts. Let's see how you did in the compatibility test. Ooh, not bad. It's not a heart, but it is a red card, and it's also a 4. I would say that's pretty compatible if we're being honest. Cool, sir, this is where you come in. This is the grand finale. Basically, we've got it set up to now all you have to do is pick a red card, and we'll know you guys are extremely compatible and probably have at least another 5 years in you, okay? So, sir, for this one, all I'm going to do, same exact idea. I'm going to cut small packets. When it feels right to you, just say stop. Oh, right there? Beautiful. How did we do? 2 hearts and a diamond. All you have to do is get a red card and we're in great shit. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, have you guys been having any troubles in your marriage? Are you guys feeling pretty confident with each other? Or you don't know any good divorce lawyers or anything, do you? No, obviously I'm kidding. See, this is the misdirection because I was telling you about compatibility, but we were focusing on the face of the cards. That's not where the compatibility test lies. The compatibility test lies in the back of the cards. And I think you guys are extremely compatible. Okay? So I call this love, but basically this can be any word or phone number or anything that you want to reveal. It's very simple. Whatever the word is, you put it in order on top down, top of the deck down. Do 1 pharaoh, and that's going to get you set up for the trick. Because all you need is a letter card and a cover card. A letter card, a cover card, a letter card, cover card, letter card, cover card. Very simple. Then I'm picking the first card, okay? And I just false cut to it. I show the first card. I do a KM move. Okay, a KM move is I'm going to peel this off as I thumb it with my thumb and place it down. Okay? So that allows me to fairly show a queen. I can flash the back casually. I KM move, and now I've cleaned up that and replaced this. So now all I have to do is slip cut that top card into the middle to get rid of it. Because every time I do the KM move, I have to clean it up, okay? I do the same thing here. Say stop when you'd like, right here, perfect. What did you get? I do another double. Oop, a heart and a heart, and I line it up so it's a heart, then another red card, then a black card, and it just fits with this presentation, okay? I do the same thing, but this time I don't do a KM move. I just do a second deal as I turn it face up. So I want them to sort of see the back and I want it to look like I'm just doing this. But they see the face of the card, which is the 4. I turn it over. I do a second deal and wrist kill at the same time. And then place that down, okay? Should be self-explanatory, but I'm coming here, place it down. Slip cut to get rid of that. Okay, force to the break again. And I understand if you're worried about doing too many timing forces in a row, fine. Just riffle force. Say stop, right there, perfect. Now what did you get? That's a queen. Let's see how you did. Ooh, a red card. KM move, right? Goes down. Slip cut to get rid of. One more force. Maybe I'll dribble force this time. Actually, I can't do that because I'll probably flash a red card. Say stop. Right there. Yeah, flash the red. Okay, so don't dribble force. Riffle force. Say stop. Right there. Perfect. So all you had to do is get a red card, and you guys have a great long... Uh-oh, it's a black card. You idiot, you fool. You're going to lose your wife forever, right? She's probably already cheating on you. Maybe don't use that presentation, but you get the idea. Nope. It's not even red. Oh, no. Do you guys know a good divorce lawyer? Whatever. Now you just make the jokes. You show all are blue, and then you say, no, what we were really looking for was the back of the cards, and you guys are good. Okay, so this can be a company's name, and you can have the most, the VIPs of the company pick the cards. This could be a wedding date, the date of a wedding. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. Just a nice, simple way to reveal any message you want, and that's the reset. I will admit, normally when I do this trick, I don't reset very often because I give these cards away, right? So it's their message, it's their cards. There you go. Call that love. Hope you dug it. All right. Show you some splits stuff here. So we'll come up here for this. Actually, I'll go to this one just to be... That'll be a little better. So how does a magician make money? Well, like this. Watch the bill. All I have to do is split that bill, and I get another one. It's pretty cool. Watch again. Almost looks like it's melting through itself. Pretty wild. Now, you can do that with a bill. You can do that with your business card, right? Check this out. Oh, you want a business card? Sure, of course. Oh, there's 3 of you, so hold on. There's one for you, ma'am. Oh, that one's upside down. There's one for you. And then you can do it with this too. So check this out. This is a company that I was trying to get some work with. And this is their logo, right? Velocity Black, so you can show their logo. Check this out. Okay, so that's the splits project. That's one of the things in the bundle. It's over an hour worth of instructions, so I'm not going to go into all of it right there. But that's one of the things in our full complete package bundle deal. And some of the creativity that people have been taking this to is mind blowing. I mean, there's people doing splitting Red Bull cans and all sorts of stuff. So super fun, super awesome. I will show you something cool using some well, I'll show you first. So a lot of people have seen these tricks where magicians do. I think it's called an invisible palm. So an ace is a good card. What they'll do is they'll take an ace, they'll throw it on the table, they'll show their hand empty, and then they'll lay another ace down, right? And the idea is this invisible palm. So I wanted to do the same thing, but I figured if you were really going to do it, you should palm off at least a royal flush or something better than just one card. So this is just a silly, simple gag gimmick thing, but it's really fun to make, and there's a few different things you can do with it. This is really more of just a creativity spark, give you an idea of something, hopefully. And all these are magnetic cards. I just took 2 cards. I placed a magnet in each corner, just small little square magnets. They're about 0.3 millimeters thin. They're just small little mini square magnets, okay? About that. They're about 0.3 or 0.5 millimeters thin. So I put one in each corner, And then I put a back cover card, and I did the same with the ace, which now makes that a packet. And I can lock in 3 other cards, okay? So there's just a lot of fun things. If you're hanging out with a bunch of magicians, you know, everyone knows this double laydown that people do, so you kind of give them the impression that that's what you're doing. And then right before you do the spread, you just kick it over, and they're like, wait, can't do that with a double. Show your hand empty, push down, and now I can spread a royal flush. Okay, so just something fun to play with. If you've got magnets lying around, give it a shot. Fool some of your magician friends. Okay, let's try this. All right, I got a couple more for you guys here. This is called Adam's Aces, and this is just sort of a jazzy, kind of a way to... Is this the right one? Let's see if I got this right one. Yeah, so basically this is a way to... I'm going to prove to the lay audience that I'm a beast with a deck of cards, right? Like I'm an excellent cheat. That's the goal. So this is the way I present it. I come out and I say, you know, there's a saying in cards, and it's trust your friends but always cut the cards. And there's a few reasons they say that. Basically, if I'm cheating and I'm trying to control where certain cards are going to go in the deck, well, as soon as somebody cuts the deck, whatever I've controlled to the top gets nullified, right? So when that deck gets completed and cut, at the end of the day, they're nullified, and whatever stock I needed was now in the middle of the deck, okay? So let's do a little bit of an example here. If I go and find a powerful card or a good card, it's cool, but it's not really magic, right? It's just showing off. So if you find a card as an untrained, we call it layman, that's a little bit more magical. So just go off your gut here. Whatever feels right, just say stop. Right there, you're sure? I'm going to cut exactly where you said stop. Let's see how you did. If you found an ace, that's the best card in a pack of cards. So I'd say that's a good start. Wow, that is a good start. I do have to admit you're showing off a little bit though, okay? So I'm going to show off too. Now you found one of the aces. The cool thing is if I look inside of this ace, I can split it and get the second ace. That's ace 1 and 2. If I take ace 1 and 2 and just shake them, I can actually get 4 aces. All right? So again, I said I was going to show you why you should be careful playing cards with strangers, okay? A lot of times while it looks like people are fumbling around, they know where those aces are. It's not so much marking the aces. Some people think that you're marking the aces by the back, or you know, a lot of times when you go to a person's backyard poker game where most of the cheating happens, you're borrowing their deck. You don't get to bring your own deck. So marking the aces is a lot more difficult than you may think. But I want you to show if you can count where the aces are. For instance, right now I can clearly see that that first ace has 7 cards on top. The next one has 11, then 9, then 13. 7, 11, 9, and 13. And the only reason I know that is because I didn't have any girlfriends for the first 20 years of my life. And I had a lot of free time. Okay? Gotta love that self-deprecation humor. So the 4 aces go in, and if I know how many cards are on top of each ace, then I could track numerically where those aces are at all times. The problem comes when that saying happens, trust your friends but always cut the cards. Because if I've memorized the order of the cards, but now they get cut, mixed, shuffled, and all mangled, there's no way, unless I was like Rain Man, that I could track where those cards lie. So let's give this a shot. I'm going to try 2 cuts. A little fancy, but that and that should have done it. That felt pretty good. We're going to see how I did. I believe I got one of those aces back to the top. Heck yeah. That's the black one, the ace of clubs. So that's ace number 1. I'm going to find the mate to that ace in 2 cuts. That's 1, that's 2. If that was the ace of clubs through that huge, yeah, ace of spades, it's mate through all the mixes, shuffles, and everything. That's the 2 black aces. Now I'll find the red ones one-handed at the same time. Watch. While this would be really cool if those were the red aces, it would only be an Adam Wilber miracle if those in fact were the black aces, because those red aces were here from the start. Okay? Now again, let me kind of break it down and give you a little bit of an example of what this looks like, what you can keep an eye out for in a game of cheaters, okay? Now when I come over and I say I'm shuffling the cards, I really am. When I say I'm pushing those cards together, I really am. When I say I'm squaring them up, I really am. And then when my friend cuts the cards, they really are being cut until the very last second when I pick them up, I swivel this back, line the cards back up in a squaring action. Okay? So if you can master that whole saying of trust your friends but always cut the cards gets null and void. And while magicians may track 1 or 2 cards, or the 4 aces, for example, the real cheats, they track every single card through every single shuffle, every single cut, throughout all of the mixes. Everything stays exactly where I need it, when I need it. And that's why you should be careful playing cards with strangers. Okay? I hope you guys like that. It's hard to see that here, so I hope you're enjoying it and still watching it. This is pretty simple. I mean, really all I'm doing is Dr. Daly's last trick and a bunch of false cuts and false shuffles. But you get a lot of credit from a lay audience for this. People really think you're a true mechanic with a deck of cards, okay? So all you do is you put the deck in new deck order, okay? It's actually not in new deck order, it's in a different order, but I'm doing clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Chased order, okay? Clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. So it's not new deck, it's 2 to king, 2 to king, 2 to king, okay? 4 aces go on top of all that. And then just false cuts and false shuffles. I'm not going to go into false cuts and false shuffles because it's a master class in its own, right? I mean, there's a million different ones. Whatever sequence you know to do some convincing false cuts and false shuffles, that's what you should put in here. I'm doing a 0 shuffle to start, okay? So the basic 0. Then I'll throw in a push-through shuffle, okay? So 0 with the push-through. I'm going to do a Charlie Miller table pass, okay? And then I'll do a couple table falses. And it's really those 3 things, okay? It's a 0, a false table cut, false in the hands 2 table cut, and that's it. That's just going to convince anyone that the deck's mixed, okay? Now I'm going to do my ace production, and this is called Adam's Aces. I'm going to pinky count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to turn over all 4 like this. Okay, so I know that's not a great double, but that's the way I do it because it's a thick packet. So I turn over all 4 as 1, grab here to cover that thick edge as I set the deck down. Now I'm saying if you peel the first ace open, and I'm peeling that first ace, and then I snap it off that card. Okay, so boom, snap it off, and I show 2 aces. I line these just like that, and I grip from underneath. And all I'm going to do from underneath is spread all 4. Okay, so it looks pretty cool at speed. You say, oh, I found 1 ace. If I peel that first ace, I'm just doing a strike double and feeling for the 2 aces, okay? But I do that towards me. So all they see is that it looks like I'm prying something. I snap to show 2. Say, actually, this trick uses 4 aces. So if I can get all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want to put these in, well, at this point it doesn't matter because what I'm going to do is any version of Dr. Daly's last trick, you know. The one I did is John Gustafaro's, but really any 4 ace trick that you want to do, you put in here. So when I'm performing, this is a spot where I'll get to put in some fun trial stuff, some new stuff, anything with 4 aces. So Dr. Daly's last trick is a great one. You're basically going to, you know, for this, it's a double. I'm showing a double. The cards are in alternating color order, right? You do a double, showing the first. That goes down. I double undercut that. So, you know, this is John Gustafaro's. Definitely go check out his work. But it's just a really clean, streamlined handling of Dr. Daly's last trick, right? Show there, and boom. So anything you want to do with the aces that doesn't disturb the order of the deck. That's the goal, okay? Now I'm going to come back to these aces. And I'm going to lose them, supposedly lose them, right? So put them in like that. You can show 4 aces in 4 separate parts of the deck. I show them this, and I tell them I'm counting where they are, which is all BS, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm doing a multiple shift that retains the same order of the deck. It is a John Bannon multiple shift where I'm pushing down on the top left corner, okay? This is the hand position. These fingers are out of the way. This finger's out of the way. I'm pushing with my ring or my middle finger on my right hand, and I'm kicking those off out jogged. While I'm here, my pinky of the right hand is going to push them over. That side jogs all 4 aces. And now there's a gap here. There's about 10 cards here. So I'm going to cut about 5 of those cards off the top into the left hand. I'm then going to make it look like I'm slamming it down, but I'm actually slamming it in line with those aces. Okay? And then I turn everything up towards the audience, and I strip out with my thumb this block and slam it on. Okay? So that remains, everything remains in the same order, but you get this really convincing multiple shift without disturbing the order of the deck. Okay? So you show, blah, 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 blah. I push in, square, cut, spin cut, and then I do one more false. I mean, to a lay audience, that has to be mixed up, okay? And then you can produce the aces any way you'd like. But once the aces are in play, then I demonstrate. I do another bunch of false cuts and false shuffles explaining that magicians will find aces, but real card sheets will do much more than that. And I'm just I'm going crazy with the false shuffles and false cuts. I need them to think there is no way, that this has to look like a shuffle deck. And at that point, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds in chased order, because that's how I set this up. And then I can take the deck and say through all that. And now all I'm doing is riffling till I see the king, right? So I'm just watching right there. And I know that's where to stop. And I say, boom. First one, I let that sink in a little slow. I come over, grab this. I gain speed a little bit as I get there. And on the last 2, you're there. Okay? So that's, Adam's aces. But it's really just a nice piece to overemphasize how great you are with handling cards. Definitely a show-offy style piece, but sometimes, that fits. It doesn't always fit for my character or performing environment, but sometimes it does. And I want to be able to have something that I know I can do pretty easily. If you get a false shuffle and false cut sequence down and practice just that sequence, maybe learn Sam the bellhop or something like that, which will force you to learn a false cut sequence. Once you nail that, this is a miracle thing for people who don't understand how easily you can false shuffle and false cut and make it look more convincing than it is. Okay, so there you go. Hope you guys can dig that. I hope you guys take something from that. I will do one more, and that will be my time. And this is my favorite, probably my all-time favorite card trick. It's named after my daughter. It's called Alina's Dream. My daughter's named Alina. This is a classic, and you'll probably know what it is, but I'll show you. This is my version of it. Hope you dig it. Tell them this is named after my daughter. It's a little ode to my daughter, if you will. So what we need is, well, a card that would represent my daughter, and she's the queen of my world, so I think a queen would probably be a good card to represent that. How did we do? Not bad. See, the thing is, this trick doesn't use a queen. This trick uses 4 queens. So I take the first and split it into 2, and then I take the 2 and shake it into 4. Now we can start the trick. 4 queens and a deck of cards. Now each queen is going to get a group or a packet of cards. We'll call it her network, her friends. Some for her, some for her, some for her, and some for her. 4 queens, 4 packets of cards. We'll start with the Queen of Spades. We'll leave her face up in her respective packet. And you'll see it to the very last moment. Takes just a second, but that should have been it, because that queen is gone. We'll do it again with the Queen of Hearts. Leave the Queen of Hearts face up in her packet. You'll see her to the very last moment. With just a shake, she's also gone. Now the Queen of Clubs is my favorite, and for good reason, because you actually see the moment that Queen of Clubs disappears. Just like the others, gone. Leaving the Queen of Diamonds in her packet. couple waves, just like that. The queens back together. There you go. Yay! Okay, so this is called Alina's Dream. It's my take on the McDonald's Aces plot, and it's a streamlined version of it. It's just a really simplified. You can do this to music. It's one of my all-time favorite plots in card magic. There's no language barriers to this. It's like the mental photography deck. You don't have to say a lot if you don't need to, and they can visually understand the magic. They can see it and grasp it. So what do you need? Well, you need a deck of cards, okay? Sean says, don't give it away too good. Thank you, brother. That's funny. You need a deck of cards and then 3 duplicates. So I use clubs, spades, and hearts and don't use the diamond. So I just get a club, a heart, and a spade, okay? Those are extra. Then you also need, sorry, that was horrible. Science friction spray. This stuff is incredible. Science friction spray. I think it's sciencefrictionspray.com. Yep, sciencefrictionspray.com. This stuff is incredible. It's a little bit pricey, but it is the best I have ever found. You don't need this. You can use double stick tape. You can use roughing stick. You can use Tester's Dull Coat. You can use roughing spray. You can use a white crayon from your kids' crayons. All of these things will work. This is by far the best, okay? So, when I say treated, if you're gonna use anything else, it's the same thing. If you're gonna use double stick tape, it's the same thing, okay? So what are you doing? You're treating the face of the Queen of Spades, Queen of Hearts, and Queen of Clubs. Then you're treating the back of any indifferent card from the deck, okay? So this is treated. These 3 queens are treated. Queen of Diamonds is not, and the 3 duplicate queens are not. Okay? The setup, alternating color on the queens from the deck proper. Okay? The 3 duplicate queens that are untreated go face up. The treated indifferent card that's treated on the back goes face down. And those 4 queens go face down on top of that, okay? Now you're gonna do that same production, okay? You got a pinky count here because there's no pushovers or anything because these cards are treated, they go as 1. So if you push down, you're gonna get that. So you need to pinky count 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. I show the first queen, set the deck down, do the exact same production as before. You split, place on top, shake, there's all 4, okay? Now, the Queen of Diamonds, because it's untreated, needs to go to the far right, okay? These are the treated queens. I also now have this stock of 4, the face-up queens and the treated card. So I need to pinky count those as well, 1, 2, 1, 2. Because what I'm going to do is leave packets of cards, but I need that last packet to be just those 4, and I need to not fumble around while doing it. So the easiest way to get there is to pinky count 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. I transfer that pinky count into, or pinky break into a thumb break, and then I riffle about 20 or so, 10 or so, whatever. You just riffle groups of cards. Rest is almost self-working. This first queen goes in the packet face up. I cut it in halfway, dribble the cards, leaving the queen sticking out to the last moment. I square that in. As I snap, I push down, and it vanishes. Just because science friction spray is just like roughing spray or something, but you only have to treat 1 card, which is really cool. You don't need 2 cards touching. Just treat the 1, and it vanishes like that. It's really, really dope, okay? So now I take this packet, I fan it, I show front and back of this casually, square it up, show the Queen of Hearts the last moment. Same idea, a little bit of downward pressure, and that card vanishes. Now the last one, I show one last time. I do the side steel color change to show to the very last second till that vanishes. I can do this if I need to, come over, spread, and that one's gone. Now the last queen I pick up, being careful not to do this because that card's treated. So if you are a little clumsy, you might flash a face-up queen. So I'm just cautious there and pick that up, square it all up, just like this. Wave, little downward pressure, and it reveals the 4 queens because of that treated card sticking. Okay? So this is thank you to John Gustafaro. This was a great addition. I used to end the trick this way, where this would actually just be another packet of cards. So as I picked the queen up, I would wave, 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 and when I came over to spread, sorry, it's not lined up, then it would just show the 4 queens here. And John said, why don't you get rid of those cards and have it just be the 4 queens? And it's a great addition. So thank you, John. That is Alina's Dream. I hope you enjoyed that. And if there's any questions, please do drop them in here. I'll show you the reset really quickly. Reset's pretty simple, but you do want to try and do it immediately if you can, because these cards aren't treated and the ones in here are, and it's sometimes hard to feel which ones are treated and which ones aren't. So I always like to reset here. So I find them here, go through till you see the face down one, place those, go through till you see the face down, place it there. I'm going to put these back on face up, put my indifferent treated card on top, put these 4 there, and I'm reset for the next performance. Okay? So that is Alina's Dream. I hope you enjoyed that. So nice, great trick. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll show you one more really quick thing that isn't a trick, just because you guys are in Colorado. You guys will appreciate this. This will be coming out with my new company soon. My new company is going to be called, well, it is called Vulpine Creations. And this will be one of the first things that we put out. But they're sponge balls, marijuana style. So these are cannabis sponge balls.
Woo! Yeah!
Smoke weed every day.
Whoa. So it's a sponge ball routine, but I have a nice little, and then the kicker ending is a little bong. Okay. So I work for a couple cannabis companies, and I do trade show work with them. This thing kills for trade shows, right? You come out, this is off, that's the kicker ending, but you come out and I say, look, we got, a bud. Look, that's indica. And actually, I'm a bit of a sativa guy, so there's an indica and a sativa, and you do the whole thing, right? I'm here and I say, oh, if you take an indica in one hand and a sativa and you mix them, what do you get? A hybrid, right? So this is just really timely, I guess. Cannabis is a big thing right now, and there's a lot of companies spending a lot of money to advertise and get well known. So take advantage. When this is out, I'll definitely let everyone know. But these are just super cool pot sponge balls. Whoop! All right, sweet.
It's so sick, dude. It's gonna up the game for sure. Come on.
So Smell Magic is the company that I was working with. So I actually had that embroidered right onto the bong, and yeah, just super fun. People dug it. So.
Like, forget sponge balls. You know what I mean? Like, these are going to take over.
Well,
those are crazy.
We might have to forget sponge balls at this point. So,
yeah.
Like Justin said, basically, you're getting if you want to support us, we would appreciate it tremendously. There are 2 really awesome deals. One's $275 worth of stuff for $50. The other's $450 worth of stuff for $100. You get my book, a PDF version of my book, Creativity: The Magic Formula. So if you want to live a more creative life or have some tools to fill your toolbox with creativity wise, you're getting this, and you're also getting my book Creative Magic, which is about specifically using creativity in your own magic. Anyway, that's enough selling. We have some items. If you support us, it means the world to us. If you don't, because you don't have any money, we get it. And if you go to the website, there's still a link where you can just give your email and you'll get 3 or 4 free downloads to keep you busy. So thanks so much for spending the evening with us. I'm going to split screen this to Justin. And if you guys have any questions, pop them in here. We'll hang out for another minute or so. And if no questions come, then we'll just hop off. But you guys will retain access to this lecture. We kind of went through it quickly, but we wanted to send a lot of magic your way, knowing that you could revisit it and learn it in a slower setting. Thanks again for being here. And if there's nothing else, Justin, do you have anything in closing?
I just want to thank you guys for showing up. Just like Adam said, we love what we do. We wouldn't be doing it if obviously. And it's just really cool to have you guys support us over the years. Some of you might be longtime supporters of us, or just come across our routines recently, our work. So just really appreciate that. Also, the links for everything is in the description of the YouTube video as well. What are people saying, Adam?
Well, thank you, Sean. Creative Magic is a great book. Thank you, brother. Can you go over the magnets? Yes, for sure. Eddie says, thanks, guys. That was great. Merritt says, thank you so much, guys, for sharing such a wonderful evening. Tom says, awesome, guys. Justin, stay dry. Okay. Okay. Bob says, thank you for.
Oh, because it's raining here.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you for a great novel evening. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Great stuff. Thanks. All amazing stuff. So, yeah, awesome. Thank you, guys. Someone did ask about the magnets. I will go over those magnets again really quickly. These are just very small square magnets. The easiest way to get these is to Google super thin rare earth magnets and just look for a thickness no more than 0.5 millimeter. 0.5 millimeter or thinner. 0.3 millimeter is awesome if you can get it, but that's it. I Google, sometimes they're sold out. Super Magnet Man is a good website, but there's tons of websites. Just Google and price shop a little bit. So do the packages include physical items? They don't. They include the teaching of Cylinder and Coins, but to buy Cylinder and Coins, you get that from Justin directly. The packages, the first one has 16 downloads, everything from worker material to fun visual stuff, with both of my book PDFs for free, basically. That's the $50. The $100 has 32 downloads, plus my splits package, plus both of the books. So it's just it's basically everything on my website and a huge portion of the stuff on Justin's website. We wanted to just make sure you had a bunch of material too. Not so much that you'll be overwhelmed, but this is all solid stuff that we work. So not shippable.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Simones, I believe. He purchased one of the packages. Thank you so much, Bob. Really
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Very, very much appreciated. Just a lot of thank yous. Fabulous virtual event. Well, thank you guys so much. I saw it was, yeah, awesome. So again, thank you guys. If you ever need to reach out, you can hit us both up on our social media or our emails, whatever it is. But thanks for spending the evening with us. We'll talk to you guys soon. Until next time, friends, onward.
See you guys.